Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're here at our house for another YouTube live session.
You're cheesy today.
Would you like to talk?
Hi, good morning. Happy Memorial Day. I don't know if I always feel it feels a little funny to say Happy Memorial Day. But anyway, thanks to all those who serve and those who gave all. My day started out with a good long cry this morning when I watched the D-Day stuff. There was the video. It brought back a flood of memories, and it's pretty amazing. If y'all get the chance, go to Normandy.
Yeah, and so today what we want to kind of do is if you have questions for summer travel coming up, because now like in the U.S. like Memorial Day is the beginning of summer travel season, so we kind of wanted to answer your questions about travel and say hi to people, let everyone know we really appreciate all your help. Hi to everybody from where is everybody from South Africa. We will be getting to you, don't worry. Let's see. Other people are asking about Uber and things like that. Here's the thing: is Uber and Lyft aren't everywhere. I was just in Vancouver. There's no Uber there, but Toronto I think does have it. So it really is a mix and match how these things are. But I will say is the Uber and Lyft effect on taxi services around the world. You're getting more apps for taxis and stuff like that. They're more kind of reliable and stuff. So I think that's kind of cool. Now, Brad's dad, G, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Hi, guys. Thank you for all the great videos. They put our mind at ease and made planning easier. Trip to Paris in August. Wondering best ways to get artwork back home. Would you like to take care of that one?
Sure. So I buy tons of artwork, mostly from people on the street. I went to art school, I believe, in supporting starving artists. So often they will give you like tubes, but if you can ever bring a couple cardboard tubes, rather sturdy ones, just one or two, you can roll things up pretty small and get several into one. So if you can bring one of those, and if you're getting already, matted and framed artwork or something like that, especially in Paris, they're always willing and able to ship that home for you. But
yeah, not everywhere. And if you're going to street artists and stuff, a lot of times they'll have stuff to roll it up for you and things.
Yeah, but it's not always that. Sometimes it's like no thicker than a paper towel roll, and you usually want something a little more sturdy than that.
Yeah. Hey, OG, thank you for wearing your Wolters World shirt as well. Very, very, very nice. Hey, if you want to grab one of our shirts, the ones that have the "Hey there, fellow traveler," they stop being sold tonight at sometimes. So if you want to pick one up, click on there's just put the woltersworld.com/shop, and you can see them on there, and you can click different ones. They have ones with little small things on there, all kinds of stuff. So if you want to get your shirt, within the next couple of weeks, do that because the next order won't be till probably July, end of June. So if you want to get that out there.
Mark, there's one there down a bit about traveling, doing the river cruises in Europe, and I think you can speak to that better than I.
So the river cruises in Europe, one, that you get to see a lot of places when you're doing those cruises. And anytime you do a tour, you get to see a lot of stuff. The thing is, anytime you do a river cruise or any kind of cruise, you need to do the research about the company you're going to go with because some it's for families, some it's for over 65, some it's for party couples and things like that. You really need to do the research about that. One thing I do see is, though, most of the time, if you're in one of the bigger ones, and river cruises are not very big, but you're going to be doing the tour group kind of thing, site to site to site, and you don't always get a lot of time at the sites. So don't always feel like you have to do all the excursions. Maybe you do the excursion one day and the other day, we're going to explore the city on our own. Because that's one of the things I hear a lot of people say. My parents do these tours quite often. They do one a year at least.
I feel like they're kind of geared often for retirees.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I would say. So there's a lot of people saying hi. So for our people in France, hey, want to say hi there. And people in Hungary, and yes, and Portland is a great place to visit. And hello from Poland. You guys have been great supporters the last year. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I want to answer some questions.
Well, answer some questions.
Okay, then. So someone earlier, before we had even logged on, wrote and asked about packing for winter in a carry-on or a small suitcase. It's a challenge. We do it. For the four of us, I usually end up taking one medium-sized bag, so just the one up from carry-on size and one carry-on, simply because we're taking more stuff. But as always, wear your biggest shoes, like wear your boots on the plane. That makes it a little bit easier. But I also like to dress in layers, and silk is, it sounds crazy, but silk long underwear is really great, and it's really thin. It helps to keep, heat in, but also moisture out and whatever. I know that there are a lot of different products on the line now, like Under Armour and things like that, but I prefer natural stuff where I can. So things like that are light, just multiple layers, and they don't have to be, it doesn't have to be a ton, because you know what, you're always in a coat as you're going about, so fashion doesn't really matter, and you can kind of cut out a lot of things based on, the way it looks, because you're just really going more for warmth. Take really good socks, because you just want socks that can wick moisture in case your feet do get sweaty, because you're walking for a really long time. And nobody wants wet feet, right? And that'll make you sick.
Yeah. This is true. And miserable. Yeah. Believe me, wet, slopping, wet feet. I've had that in England a few times. It is not fun. James Gillespie, thank you very much for your support. We really appreciate it. And we're glad that our advice can help you out. And we want to say hi to everybody in Australia, in India, in Milwaukee. Hey, thank you very much. There was a question up here about, Drew asked, I'm going to Vancouver, Seattle, and San Francisco. Is doing that in 2 weeks doable? Yes, it is. I was just up for 10 days in Vancouver and Seattle. Easily could have done 2 weeks with San Francisco in there as well. You can just take, what I would do is fly to Vancouver, then do that, take the train down to Seattle. It's way easier than renting a car. It's it's not faster, but you can take the train down. And then from Seattle, I would just fly down to San Francisco because it's just so far. And honestly, you might even be able to do in 2 weeks if you do it really quickly. You could probably do Vancouver, Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, and then fly out from there. And that would be kind of a cool trip to be able to do. Another person wrote, what about some stuff in southern Spain? I just put out a video, the 9 best cheap places to visit in Europe. And for me, Valencia is a really cool town. Great Art Deco, architecture, cool historic buildings, a nice beach as well. And it is not super touristy, so that's really cool. And it was really affordable when we went there. I took a group of students there, and they loved it. I mean, it was really cool. Some other cool places, obviously, you got Granada to see Alhambra, the Moorish Palace there. That's cool. Sevilla is always a classic. And then, well, the thing is, if you go to Malaga and down there, Costa del Sol, that's really like going to England or Germany, because there's so many retirees down there. So maybe Costa Brava up near Barcelona would be a better southern beach kind of one, but I think Valencia is awesome.
Thank you, Just a Guy.
Just a Guy, the biggest fan from Hungary. I'm going to be there again next summer, so we'll be back in Hungary filming some new stuff.
Oh, never mind.
Because I'll be working, and you'll be a wonderful person coming to meet me later.
So somebody asked about Reykjavik and the Blue Lagoon. Yes, the Blue Lagoon is cool, but it is filled with tourists. We actually went to another hot pot sort of place up in the north near Akureyri. I don't know that I'm saying that correctly, but and we actually liked that one quite a bit more. A lot less people, and it was a lot of fun. But Reykjavik is cool. But Iceland itself is like several different worlds. And so you should just go and find out for yourself. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We
made a video of 5 things you love and hate about visiting Mars, and we filmed it in Iceland because it really looks like you're straight out of some Mars movie or something like that. So one person wrote, "Hey, Japan, can we do cheap Japan for 15 days?" Danielle Salazar wrote that, and Danielle, Japan's not super cheap.
It's not even.
That's not cheap.
Cheap isn't really go well.
Yeah, I mean, you can find ways to make it less expensive. That would be, I would definitely rent an apartment. That's going to make it a lot easier for you.
Yeah, because then you can cook at home too, because food was pricey.
Yeah, restaurant stuff was expensive. That's why we did a lot. Our breakfasts were always from a 7-Eleven, yes, or Lawson's, their convenience stores. Cool. Lawson was cool. Good food. But it's not like 7-Eleven Denmark or 7-Eleven US. It's just really, it's high level. That's the fancy grocery store stuff that we have here where we're at.
They have good sushi and all buns. Oh my gosh, those buns were so good. Oh God, it was so good. Those were awesome. But so don't eat at a lot of restaurants. Stay in an apartment.
Yeah, I mean it's
those
hard.
Ryokan, am I saying
Ryokan?
that?
Or Ryokan, yeah.
Those were a little bit better than most like hotels. But again, you're sleeping on like a tatami floor with a futon mattress sort of thing, and so it's just a bit different than what we're used to. And maybe you have a shared bathroom, but bathrooms in Japan are like, I mean, you could eat off the toilets; they're so clean. Okay, that's gross, but you know what I mean. So somebody asked about if we're coming to Manchester, and we are going to be in the UK this fall. I don't know.
All the places we're going to go yet?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, well, maybe we might be there. Who knows?
Yeah, it's still
we are
up in
going
the
to
air.
visit one
We
of
have
my
the
girlfriends.
tickets to England. We just don't have decided where we're
And
going.
we have the ticket home.
Yeah, and hey, and if you know anything about Morocco, we're actually going to go to Morocco.
Yeah, we just booked
this
that
fall. We just booked
yesterday.
it, so we just got the tickets. So we know what we're going to do yet. So any recommendations on Morocco is always
Or
a
questions that you want answered.
Oh, yeah, anything
that
you want
we
us
can-
covered, things
that we
like
can
that.
Look for. Yeah.
Hey, I want to say thank you to Daniel Feldman for thanks, buddy, from San Francisco. We will be getting out to visit you. I don't think it'll be this. We'll get there this year, probably next spring.
Don't you have a conference or something that you have
Yeah,
to go to? I
that's
don't know what it is. I don't keep track.
Maybe
of the schedule.
January, otherwise it'll be like end of summer next year. So we'll be getting there. So some of you wonder what our kids are doing when we're doing these things. One's watching Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs, and then downstairs we have our oldest one, and he's got a buddy over here who were playing, I think, Fortnite, and one of them just lost his tooth. That's why we started late. He's like, my tooth just fell out. So the joys of being a parent. So we have those. Oscar Hernandez wrote, have you guys ever encountered any dangerous or scary situations during your travels? Yes. There's been a few times I've gotten shook down by police at the border, by the border guards in Paraguay and Argentina. The militia in St. Petersburg, Russia. That was an experience, but I was so tipsy that it was kind of funny at the time. But there has been some interesting
There was
things.
that one time in Rome when we had the kids. Liam was a baby, and you were like, "Oh no!" And I looked.
Oh yeah, because there was
stupidly looked around, and then I spotted the guy too. It was
because sometimes you can see whenever you have like a little kids or like over 70 or 80. You become a target. And actually what's sad is like if you're an Asian tourist, if you're an Asian tourist, I'm not gonna lie to you, in Europe, they are the new Americans in terms of getting robbed and stuff like that. So you really need to pay attention for that. But there's been a few times there's been some things. I remember I was in Peru. I mean, this is 20 years ago. And this is, when Shining Path was doing stuff. And all of a sudden I see the entire road as everyone's running away. And then all of a sudden I see the tanks rolling. I'm like, oh my God. And so there's been some times, but nothing bad's
20
happened.
years ago.
Yeah, like she got her. Well, Liam got the purse stolen from his
my diaper bag.
His bag. So there's that.
And you know what's crazy is we were with a friend who she's traveled to what?
She travels way more than we do. Like they've been to like 150 countries.
Yeah, they've been to almost every country in the world, and it happened with them. Hey, Isaac, thank you. It's very kind of you. And yes, but we just aren't sure when. We were kind of going to do that at Thanksgiving, but things sort of changed, and we need to go back home to Lisbon. So we're going to do that.
I'm going to say hi, Liam. Hi. See, he's got the little one where you have the little Wolters word on there, so we got some kid sizes as well. Hey, just a guy. Thank you again. I actually do remember you from the Brilliant Comment video. Yes, I love you too. Go get your movie. So we have that. Okay, so now I got to scroll back down because they pop these things up every so often. Thank you, Anna in Aspen. Anna
Aspen.
Oh, Anna Aspen. Because so when we have this, our computer is like I have to reach over. I'm not even touching the computer yet, and then YouTube only gives you like this, like it's like 12 font or 11 font. No, that's like 11 font, 10 font. And since I'm old, hard to read. So sorry if I messed those up. So back to the questions. Thaddeus writes, I'm planning to visit Canada alone for the first time. Let's say for 1 week. How much would I have to spend up to visit a hotel in Ottawa? If you're only going to have 1 week, I would do Toronto over Ottawa. Honestly, or I would do Quebec and Montreal, Quebec City and Montreal, split it between those ones. Because though Ottawa had some nice museums, I won't lie to you about that. And there's some, the how they have the light display on the Parliament building. You're better off at Toronto or Montreal and stuff like that. Prices, if you're from the U.S., it's U.S. prices about the same. It's nothing too bad.
Hey, somebody has asked a couple of times. I don't know if it's the same person about the Caribbean. So I've been to a couple places in the Caribbean, and most of it is like resort stuff and a lot of tourist things that most people get to. What?
Like in the Caribbean? Oh, you mean they do like a tour or something like that, or a cruise?
Yeah, and also people stay on like resorts,
Resorts,
and stuff
right.
rather than like getting out and seeing things. We are going to have a wonderful chance to do something new next year. In spring, we are going to go stay with a friend of ours, a friend of mine, and she is Jamaican, and she runs Toby runs a company. Why can't I think of the name? I really should give her a shout out right now. Anyway, Toby's like this really amazing woman, and she has a tour company. And so she's going to take us around. We're going to get to see like the inside of Jamaica, like really get to see it from a local perspective. So we're going to have a lot more information for you about the Caribbean than specifically Jamaica. So, yeah.
So thank you to everyone that's been writing on here, the really nice compliments about our videos, how they help people. And that's one thing we really, really love doing is we know like, when we hear that our videos help people travel better and have a better time and stuff like that, it really means the world to us. So thank you for all the people. I mean, there's so many on here saying thank you. I feel bad that I don't get to say everybody's name. So there's that. And all the people saying hi, like Foos on the move, thanks. And hi from Texas, hi from Illinois. So there's that. Thoughts on Finland? I enjoyed it. It's definitely a nature, outdoors kind of thing. You want really clean air, safe place, amazing cinnamon rolls. So good, so good.
And get outside of just Helsinki. Go up to Lapland or...
yeah. And the thing is Helsinki is really expensive. Turku. Yeah, I love Turku too. One thing is Helsinki is really expensive, but if you get outside of Helsinki, the prices do drop down. Now, it's not cheap. It's never cheap. But it's not that bad a price outside of Helsinki.
Liam, so don't stand on the... Excuse me.
He's standing on the couch trying to play with the light bulb. See? You gotta put him in their place sometimes. Nanaimo! Is that how I say it? Nanaimo bars? Because I had a few of those when I was over there the other day. So like that. Burgundy, France. I have not been.
No, but I have a plan for Burgundy. Have I told you about it?
No.
We're going to go on a river cruise. They have like barges that you can go up and down these canals and things, and totally want to do that. Somebody asked or suggested that we do Namibia and Botswana on our Africa trip. So that's going to have to be our second one because we're not going to be in that area, and it's just way too expensive for us to be bebopping all around. And we don't have that much time. But those are on our radar for sure.
Yeah.
And there is a tour that I want to do.
Like Rwanda, Uganda, over to Kenya, like that way.
Yep.
That's what it's going to be.
This Namibia Botswana thing is part of that thing with the French.
Kwasi.
Kwasi Cruises has something there that I would like to try and do.
Okay, so Dakota Hedger writes, "Are Macron classes worth it in Paris?" I'm going to put this in a different perspective. Macrons. Yeah, they're fantastic to eat. But one of the things that's cool is we actually occasionally will do like a cooking class when we go someplace to give something, one for us something to do, but also a kind of a culture thing. And some will let kids go, some won't, so you got to check those out. But we found that those kind of cooking class kind of things actually are pretty fun. And it gives you something to do, especially if you're on like a 2-week, 3-week trip. You're like, man, I cannot see another dang church. I cannot go into another museum. It's all blurring together. It gives you that something else to check out. So that's kind of cool.
Holiday Services. That's Toby's company name.
There you go.
Holiday Services if you're going to Jamaica. I guarantee it'll be good.
We don't guarantee it's going to be good. We guarantee you have a good time.
Okay.
So you have to be careful.
And that Toby's awesome.
Yes, Toby.
I can guarantee. We can guarantee
Toby's
How
awesome.
about that?
So people keep asking if we're going to go to LA. Haven't been. It's probably a little bit farther down the road. You can tell by Jocelyn's face she's not a big fan. So it might not be a while.
I'm not a fan of LA, but that's personal. It's just not my gig. It's just, that's not my thing.
So JLF3 from New Orleans, y'all video and Mardi Gras was spot on. Thank you. That was a fun time going down there for that one. I can't wait to go back. They're going to be in Lisbon this week. Any restaurants you can recommend? Lisbon has changed so much over the last few years. I lived there for 5 years. I did my PhD in Portugal.
And I had a baby there.
And she had a baby there. So we know Lisbon well.
We know Lisbon.
But the thing is, the last 3 or 4 years, Lisbon has really, really changed more for a tourist kind of thing versus a city for the locals. So the restaurants have really changed. Like we used to go to Bar Alto and you can have good prices. It's still relatively cheap, but it's not as cheap as it was. And so things have really, really changed quite a bit since
And
we
the
were there.
Portuguese are getting priced out.
Yeah, they're
of their
getting priced out of the
homes.
center, so you're going to see more tourists than locals in the Barrio Altos and the Baixa districts and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean you won't get good food, and I think you'll be okay because a lot of the restaurants have very similar menus, and you do very well. The Porco Preto is really good. I have some other food recommendations. If you look on our newest video on 9 cheap places to visit in Europe, it's like number 2 on my list. So there is that.
Safety tips for Prague. Someone asked about, they had 3 days in Rome, and they asked whether or not they could go and see some stuff outside of there. You can. Mark and I did this. Part of one of the first videos we ever did for Wolters World, I don't know if we even ever posted it, but we did 24 hours in Rome, and we saw everything
I'm
Vatican
skinny
Museum.
and I have no shirt on. I'm like, hey, let's start our day.
We were both skinny then. So anyway, we did 24 hours. We saw all the major sites. I mean, granted, we only just touched on them, but if you want to do it,
I mean, it was go. It wasn't going in. It was just
I had
going
shin
by.
splints. Okay, yeah. I had shin splints. You can do it and then go up to like Lucca or
Florence or down to Amalfi Coast.
Yeah, you can go down and I mean, there's so much to see in Italy. You need more than 3 dang days, but you can make it happen if you really want to.
Hey, there is one thing is if you ever go into like a bigger city and you don't have a lot of time, one thing you might want to do is hop on, hop off bus and go around just one time to see the main sites. And then look, I only have time to get off and see 2 things. Do the tour one time around because it usually takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours usually. So you leave that in the morning, okay, that's what I really want to see. But at least you saw from the outside. So the next time we have more time, you can go back and see more. You have a rough idea of how things are. Now, I have a few questions that people have asked. Can I go through these real quick? So someone asked, are more Russia videos coming? Yes, we're going to have a bunch of videos coming out early June for getting ready for the World Cup. During the World Cup for the first round, we have 14 days of videos where one of the teams playing on that day, you will have a video on that country or from that country each day for the first round. So that's 14 straight days of videos. And there will be a bunch of Russia ones to get ready for that. I have been to Belarus. It was quite an interesting experience. It's well worth it. Turkey is on the list. Got to get to Istanbul. It's amazing. Another person asked, do you get recognized on the street? Occasionally, but most of the time it's kind of a look like this,
we get recognized in the airport.
Yeah, in the airport people come
always
saying,
know us in the airport. That's pretty funny.
There's that. But yeah, we occasionally get people to do that. Just a guy asked when the stream will end. Probably we'll be on here at least another 40 minutes for that. Kansas City, I will be in there in the fall for a conference for my other job. So I'll be there for about 6 days. So I will be doing some stuff there. And no, I haven't been to Joensuu. Sorry, my friends in Finland. So Jocelyn, do you want to take off from there?
Yeah. So somebody asked how we handle language barriers. Well, before we go anywhere, we learn at least the basics.
Please, thank you. Yes, no, bathroom.
Excuse me. Maybe the question words, and then you can mime out other things. We don't have such a language barrier because this one over here has the gift of language, and he's really humble about it, but he speaks quite a few languages, and he manages to kind of muddle through others. Like, he's a really good tourist in a lot of countries, even where he doesn't speak the language. So that takes a load off me. But, after you learn the basics in 1 or 2 Latin languages, it's a little easier to get through in some of the other ones. So that's how we handle that. Someone asked about handicap accessibility in Finland. And Finland is probably one of the better countries in Europe for
Scandinavia in general, and Finland.
Sure.
By far. I did a couple of videos a few years ago on handicap accessibility in Europe. And some, like Ljubljana has some cool stuff, and Dublin has an organization in the house. But I think in general, I found that Scandinavia and Finland, Stockholm and Helsinki, I mean, that's your best bet. There that I found that I actually do stuff, and it's not like, because I've been to some places. I mean, I lived in Germany. People would tell me, "Oh, they don't want to go outside. They want to stay inside." Like, no one wants to stay inside. I would get so upset by it. I'm like, people want to go out and travel. And that's where when I made those videos, I'm like, come on, man, that's just.
Hey,
insane.
Jennifer Palmer. I used to carpool with a girl named Jennifer Palmer on my way to school in high school. Anyway, so I'm totally answering your question on that, but also because it's something we really know well. You are taking your 10-year-old to, what was it, Paris and maybe Bavaria or something, how to keep your kid busy. So I have a video on what to put in a backpack for a kid. But a lot of it, like we get these little books that have various different kinds of, like the dots, and you make the square or whatever, just different little games like that. An iPad or something else like that is always good. And what else do the kids always take? We always have an iPad, or, we upload some videos and things, or download videos like movies and whatnot on there, and that'll keep them busy. But I really like to give them stuff that, you can get kids books like Lonely Planet for kids in different areas and stuff, and those usually have some good things. So they kind of have a
maybe
buy-in.
one day we'll have our book.
I love my husband.
I love me too. Okay, so any other comments? I have can answer some questions quickly.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I have a lot of four-letter words in my mouth right now, and I can't say any of them.
Love, hey, okay. Hey, so a few questions. So yeah, so we'll be back in Brazil this summer. Someone asked about that. Oscar, no, nothing beats Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's done. Buc-ee's the best. Tallinn is family friendly. I wish we would have spent even more time there last summer. It really is worth it to go with kids. There's stuff to do. It's really pretty. There's some nice restaurants to take kids to our themed ones, stuff like that. You have a really nice time there. Someone wrote about Bratislava for a day trip. Yes, Bratislava is an easy day trip from Vienna. It's like 45 minutes on a slow train to get there. Plenty of stuff to do. Actually, I've had some people say, you know what, maybe stay in Bratislava is a lot cheaper, and then day trip over to Vienna. That's also another way to go. But yes, if you got the day, go there. I'm actually teaching in Vienna next year, and I'm taking students there, and we're doing a whole day trip over there because I'm like, you have to go. It's a really nice place. Someone else has an 18-hour layover in Newark. You can get into New York City and get back no problem. In 18 hours, you can see a lot of stuff in New York. You can do some tours around there, check out some museums. It's definitely doable. So there is that. Peter Pete writes, have you been to the Dominican Republic before? I have not been.
Neither have I.
So looks like we have some place
I've
to
heard
put on
good
our
things.
list.
I have some friends. My friends' parents would go there often, and they really like it. So somebody asked about Athens to Thessaloniki. I flew to Thessaloniki and then drove from Thessaloniki down to Athens before. I loved the drive. There's like Thermopylae on the way, which was really cool. There's just some fun stuff to see. But if you're not really into Greek history and stuff, then you might as well fly. It would probably be easier. But the road is great, and that interstate road is good, and everything is safe and whatever. But yeah. So, you can do it either way. I enjoyed the drive, but I'm half Greek, and so I'm really into like the Greek history and stuff. I enjoyed all that. So there you go. Will we ever do meetups?
Yeah, I might do one in Memphis when I get down there. So we'll figure some out.
Honestly, I'm kind of apprehensive about doing that with our kids and things
because
like
there's been some attacks on YouTubers that have done that. And they weren't anybody that did anything crazy, and we've had, I mean, we don't get it so much anymore, but we used to get really,
people are mean sometimes.
Yeah. We've had some people that have threatened us and stuff like that. When I used to do more of the love and hate videos, there used to be a lot, like before people, like there's enough content that people saw, oh, you're doing it from multiple places. We used to get a lot of really, really like, when there was time I was filming in Germany, I would be like this when I'd be filming to watch if someone was coming, and we got kind of bad. So we'll do
probably
some.
never with the children.
Yeah, so that's one thing there. Anyways,
Chartres is lovely.
Yes, Chartres is lovely. Definitely go there. It's a really nice day trip to see like a nice little French town that's nearby Paris. And they got the cathedral there is really cool with the two different spires and stuff. So definitely check that out.
Machu Picchu is awesome.
Yes.
It's not nearly as high as the bus ride, but I think this person said that they were gonna hike it. I
did the hike. The hike was awesome. I loved it. Make sure you.
He was also 20.
Yes.
Let's just point that out.
I turned 22 when I was hiking. It was my birthday when I got the highest point. I will say, if you're in Cusco, though, give yourself a couple days to acclimate to the altitude because it can get dangerous. But Machu Picchu is significantly lower than that, so you're fine with the altitude in Machu Picchu, but there's just the hike there. That's one of the things. Someone asked me about thoughts on Cologne, Germany. Cathedral's really cool. It got wiped out, so it's a lot of like modern buildings. But what's cool is you can go to Bonn, and there's some really cool museums in Bonn to check out when you are there.
Oh, I love Bonn. And the Haribo, Matt Kinderfro.
Yeah, you can go to Haribo and go to their store there. Passion for soccer, yes. After having lived abroad, I've gone to games all over. I've been part of the crazy fans in different parts of the world, and it's a really fun time to go there. So we always have a good time with the World Cup. Another person wrote, "It's easy to get around Venice on the boats. I always find it's easier just to walk around Venice. The boat, well, the thing, I should say this. When you get there and you know that the Vaporetto can take the boat, it's called Vaporetto, can take you where your hotel is to get your stuff there, then do that. Otherwise, walking around is just the easiest way to go when you are there. You will get lost, but don't worry. It's an island. You'll be fine." Thank you, Andre.
Thank you.
That's really nice of you. Thank you so much.
It's See Me Fly, West Virginia, WVA. So that, the kids making videos. Sometimes it's kind of hard. You know, Caleb's at a stage where he's like too cool for us and too cool for videos. So that's kind of something different.
Yeah, if you notice our Christmas video this last year versus like 3 years ago when we started doing the yearly 12 Days of Christmas, you're like, different. Do you still have that other kid? He pops in the kid. He's usually like this. Yeah. So it's hard to get like nice pictures now with the whole family because he's like,
yeah. Mark lived in Australia, in outside Wagga Wagga, right?
Yeah, Temora, New South Wales.
There you go. Woo. So yes, and Australia is part of why we're together.
That's right. There's a whole video about that. So you want to talk about the difference between packing for the U.S. and internationally? Well, that gets some more water.
Yeah, so I'm not very good at that. I overpack in the U.S., but I pack really light in Europe because I like to shop in Europe more than I do in the U.S. I don't know why. But anyway, so basically, I mean, generally, you know, take your basics and like, for me, it's always like a couple 3 tank tops, 1 or 2 pair bottoms, like whether it be pants or shorts or something. You don't wear shorts much in Europe. Women don't generally. You'll see a lot more women in dresses. I prefer to wear dresses all year long. And personally, for a woman, that's an easy way to do that, to pack, because it's like one outfit in one piece of clothing. You don't have to think anything, you know, you just throw it on and get out. So that's my new thing. So Pete, thank you. I bought a brand new apartment in DR, in the Dominican Republic. Cool. Well, let us know how it is. You obviously are going to have a lot more information than we do, so please let us know. Somebody's in looking at the bridge in Duluth right now.
Oh, we had a nice time there. This was nice. I love going to Grandma's. That was a good eating. Get the cheese turds. Cheese turds.
Where is the best place to shop for luxury brands like Louis Vuitton, etc.? I don't shop for those brands.
Yeah.
I just don't.
YouTube doesn't make you that kind of money.
Well, and even if it did, everything I look at price, and I think, you know what, for that Louis Vuitton bag, we could go to Europe twice, or, you know, like maybe he and I could go to Europe twice, or
there's so many cool small designers. Like in Rome, you should wander around and find like little boutiques that aren't that expensive at all, and you can have this cool design.
Even in Paris, there's like, I love this place called Heroines, and her dresses are like maybe €100 or something. That might be a little bit expensive sometimes, but they're fantastic, you know. And I like to support the little guys, so I can't tell you the best place to do it. I would assume that like Paris, Milan, Rome, those would be pretty good places to do it. But you know what? Those prices are the same pretty much anywhere. So if it's a French brand, buy it in France. If it's an Italian brand, buy it in Italy, right?
Yeah, I mean, you save a little bit of money that way.
A little bit, but they would have the best selection too. So
So some other questions people popped up while we are going around. Someone asked about Iguazu. I've been there a couple times actually, and we're taking the whole family there this summer. So we'll have some Iguazu videos probably in the fall after we.
Oh, I want to answer this. The Traveler. Guess who designed the logo for Wolters World? Me.
Okay.
See, art school paid off.
There you go. Someone asked about if I'm going to do any national park videos for Canada. Won't have any for Canada, but I do have my notes ready to put some national park videos for the U.S. So I'll be filming that later this year when I go by some national parks. Hey, Caleb, can I have my water back,
Hey,
please?
we have been to Slovakia and we enjoyed it very much. It was a very cool trip for us. And I would suggest that other people go there too.
Another question people had is, so what about Connecticut and Rhode Island and New England? I prefer Maine and Vermont over those two, but if you're like Mystic, Connecticut, that's worth going to. Mystic Seaport is really cool.
I like all the little towns on the coast.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, I could be happy zipping up all those little towns, the whole Northeast. They're just sweet. Yeah.
But if you are in Rhode Island, eat Portuguese food. There's a lot of Portuguese immigration there. You got some really good Portuguese
You can get
food.
uma bica, which is like this little coffee, and it's, so good.
So weekly live streamer asked, do you guys have other jobs other than YouTube? I'm a professor, and that's my day job. So that's where
I'm the queen of the Wolters household.
That's right. Queen of my world.
So crazy.
South Tyrol. Yes, we've been to South Tyrol.
Hey, Joey.
From...
Yeah, right?
Other things we have. Someone's going on a 19-hour ferry ride here soon. I'm so sorry.
To where is a 19-hour ferry ride?
I hope you got a seat or a cabin or something. Sleep, read. Usually, if it's that long, there's probably like a bar. I guess drink yourself to like pass out or wake up. I don't know.
You can tell what we would be doing.
Whenever I have that kind of amount of time, I end up writing a lot of my notes and scripts for other videos and doing research of the place we're going to go. So we're better prepared for when we go there.
Do you guys want to come in and say hey?
Just come say hi, guys.
Come on.
Come on.
Come say hi. The children are standing here watching.
This is David. That's our friend. He just lost his tooth.
He's like our extra kid, aren't you?
That's right. And Kayla's being, too cool. Remember, like we said, he's being too cool.
Yep, there's Caleb over there.
No, being too cool.
Yeah. Yes. Too cool. No.
No, you get that later. Don't get ice cream. It's 11 in the morning. You don't get ice cream at 11 a.m.
Right. Mark teaches marketing.
So
Myanmar. We have not been to Myanmar. Actually, unrelated to that, but sort of in that area, we actually met, or we were talking to some friends. David's aunt and uncle just got back from Bhutan and Nepal, and Bhutan is now seriously on my list. She just made me fall in love with that. I don't know how we can go to Myanmar as Americans. I think there's some issues there or something, aren't there?
There's always ways you can get anywhere. So Talia Boston writes, "Hey, hi. Will you make a favorite place to shop video?" I think that's something you could do in terms of those things, like advice. How do I do?
Like, we're stand right here in the dining room and talk about it.
No, we go when you're buying one of your shops, or if you're in one of those places. Like, okay, this is an example of what I look for and how we shop.
Okay,
and things
so
like
I
that.
could do that.
I think that would be really helpful.
And I mean, but like, I feel like I can't go into shops. People might be weirded out.
Well, you can't. You have the privacy stuff, so those kind of things. You don't or you talk to a store and be like, "Hey, I really like your store. I bought your stuff here before. Can I talk?" We can do stuff like that.
Well, I can tell you a couple. One is called List in Rome, and the other is Make My, and then it's like D ... And it's just off Rue de Abbesses in Paris in the Montmartre area, and then Heroines also in Montmartre. Okay, so there you go.
So one's going to the World Cup. We'll have all kinds of Russia stuff coming out probably after June 6th. There'll be a bunch coming right for the week before the World Cup. And then during the World Cup, there'll be a bunch more videos. So you should be okay there. Let's see.
Can an American study in Poland or Finland for free? I don't know about those specific countries. Usually you have to pay, but it's not like... In comparison to like a university in the U.S., it's significantly less.
Yeah, but it's not free.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do like a language school or something like that, they some of them like in Germany they would like set up a place for you to stay. Argentina, a place where you could stay and do that. But you just have to pay for it all. It's not free.
Yeah.
So, but like if you're moving there, well, that's different. So you're a resident, then there's like public schools. But I don't know how old you are. for that in terms of for schools or stuff like that. Is Thailand overhyped? Thailand looks amazing. When people ask us to go there all the time, it is on our list. We do our Southeast Asia, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam. I mean, there's just so many videos out there now already. So if you're looking for stuff, you can find things out there. But we will be there. I don't know if it's not this year. It's next year. We're looking at going there maybe around Christmas time. For that, because we want to do like a longer month-long trip, and so there's only certain times we can do that with the kids. So it is coming. So it looks amazing. Everyone I know that's gone there has loved it. So there is plenty of stuff out there.
We're going to Cuba for our honeymoon.
Our honeymoon. We've never taken a honeymoon. Technically speaking, we have never had a honeymoon.
So no honeymoon, so we're going to Cuba for our honeymoon next year. So I don't have any real advice yet, but we will. Okay, how to avoid getting robbed in Paris. Be aware. Don't go places like if you feel uncomfortable, don't be there. When it's really crowded, like keep your money not like obviously just sitting in your back pocket. You might keep $5 there, but keep something else somewhere else on your person. That might be a little bit better thing. You know what? Knock on wood, I haven't had any issues in Paris.
Where I see the most issues at the really main sites, you got, and even in the Louvre they'll have
outside the Louvre.
No, even inside the Louvre they have inside they have signs. Watch out. But where I see it the most is actually when you're going into the subway and stuff like that at Gare du Nord, Gare d'Est. Really pay attention because people will try to go in with you. That's where you got to pay attention.
And at both of those train stations, watch out for the people who they're like rip-off taxis trying to, like, some guy wanted to take me to Montmartre and he was like, it's going to be like 45 euros. I'm like, good God, I could get to Versailles for 45 euros. And maybe not that far, but anyway, and I was like, no. And I took my stuff and I left him and he was mad. But here's
one thing is
to scam me.
If these scammers get mad at you, how do you do that? You just walk away.
Just don't engage.
They're trying to, just walk away. And if someone tries to grab your bags to put it in there, you say, no, I got this, thank you, and walk away because
and never let somebody take your bags.
And never let anyone put your bag in the locker anywhere. You always be the one to put the money in, turn the key and stuff like that. Even if it's high up there, if it's too high for you to get in there, don't put it there. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's not where there are nice people out there. It's not that big of a deal. But it still is a deal. And someone asked earlier, are pickpockets really that big of an issue? Look, if you look like someone they would want to pickpocket, you can become a target in cities like Barcelona, Rome, Madrid.
Barcelona, oh my gosh.
Madrid's not so bad, but Barcelona, Rome, Paris, there are issues. I mean, it's not that bad, but we have enough people that write us and say, I caught the person just like you said you would. Because we have videos on 13 ways how they rob you and where pickpockets work and stuff like that. They can give you all kinds of stuff. So Andre writes, hey, can you rank the public transportation in different countries in Europe? Maybe the end of the videos. I'm never sure if I should rent a car or go public transportation. Well, certain places are better with renting a car, like Ireland and Scotland, England. I think, aside from driving on the other side of the road, you get to see so much more when you drive that way. It's well worth it. But places like Italy, and Germany, I think the public transport's way better because the parking can be an issue and the driving can be an issue. Because like in Germany, you think, Autobahn, I'm going as fast as I can. Unless you're used to it, it can be very dangerous and it can be very scary. And the thing is, Germany has such great public transportation, you don't need to rent a car. Italy, you don't really need to rent a car either. There's so much public transportation. It can be late sometimes, but it still
France
works.
France is kind of either way.
It depends where you are in France. Like getting to the cities, it's great. But if you're going to like Provence, it's cool to rent a car.
It's great to rent a car and like awesome for just buzzing around.
Yeah, so. but then if I look at the other side, if you're going to the Baltics, I would say rent a car just because it's small and it's easy to get around. Poland is the public transportation system has gotten much better and the road network's gotten a lot better, but it's still kind of it's a toss up for that one. Anyway, so let's keep going.
Go up just to scoot.
So.
Do you need to update your passport and have a linked last name? So like you mean like a hyphenated name? I'm guessing. I
have no idea. Why.
I mean,
if you have a passport, you have a passport. It doesn't matter. Like it's official document.
Yeah, so. I mean, if you
because your passport
change your name legally,
then
yes,
you can change
your
passport.
Change your passport.
Yeah, but you can't like. But
if you're just using like if I'm just Wolters because I'm Wolters, I'm saying that, but I haven't ever changed my passport or
don't
legally changed my name, then no, you don't have to do that.
But if you're buying tickets, you have to book the plane tickets
in your legal name. Yeah.
So if Pele can't book under Pele, he's got to put his whole name down there.
From the center of Rome, walk or taxi to the Vatican. You can walk.
You can walk. It's a walk. It's a great walk. There's so much to see on the way.
Yeah, there's a lot to see.
David Perez, thank you very much. We appreciate your support. That's very nice of you. Nolan Phillips, have we ever thought about doing the Trans-Siberian Railway? Actually, I was actually looking at doing this summer. We were looking at that. That was like...
the company that wanted to do it with us,
they were really shady. Like
sketchy.
We're
not going to say their name.
Yeah, because they were so... I mean, it was one of these like, okay, yeah, we're going to do this. We got it set up. And they just... I mean, it was just totally sketch. So make sure if you're going to do that, if you're going to do it with a tour company or something like that, check the reviews and all these kind of things. And one thing is, when you're reading reviews on TripAdvisor and stuff like that, if they're all 5s... realize why is it all 5s and make sure you read if there's some 4s and 3s if you see those, read those too, because since like on TripAdvisor anybody can write a comment, so I can have me write it, her write it, my kids write it, my mom write it, and they can have all this nice stuff, and then it can skew the numbers. So make sure you read more than just a few reviews when you're trying to do something. So be careful with that.
Yes, the mansion in Duluth is worth it, especially if you're into architectural history like I am.
That was really cool. That was cool. Actually, I filmed our 10 chunks of Minnesota there.
Yeah, that's really cool. List of travel products. I actually made this video because I try out a lot of travel products, so you don't have to.
Yeah, but I haven't edited it together.
Well, but I'm not happy with it. We did it when we were in Japan, and I'm not really happy with it. I feel like I added too much stuff and previously. I don't know. I think I need to edit it by just making it.
30 minutes of filming for a 5-minute video, so I haven't quite got to that.
Yeah, I probably need to redo that. So
no problem, Andre.
I'll get on it.
What's the best month to backpack Europe? September or April are the best months to go because all the kids are still in school and you don't have the families from the U.S. and other parts of the world that are traveling there. So you have good weather, sites are open, and it's not that crowded. So those are the best months to go.
Thank you. And oh my gosh, wouldn't you say like Ouro Preto? There are some really cool places inland to go to. I love it.
And Ouro Preto is pretty safe too. But Recife is not super safe.
No, that's not.
Olinda, which is a town next to it, that's kind of safe. But Recife, you got to pay attention. I remember last time I was there, taxi was with a couple other tourists, and this taxi driver came and was like, "You guys got to get out of here, man." And I'm like speaking to him in Portuguese. I'm like, he's like, "You don't be here right now, okay? You need to go." He's like, and he was legit, like a real taxi driver and stuff. So do have a heads up in Recife.
I really liked Belo Horizonte, right? That was really pretty. What else was? I mean,
Minas Gerais, that state's pretty safe. It's really pretty. I liked Mato Grosso do Sul, going to Pantanal, the swamplands there. That was really cool. Yeah. All kinds of stuff. There is that. Let's see, Florence and Pisa. So Florence, actually, you could stay in Lucca or some other place and day trip into Florence because Florence is overpriced for the stays.
And it's
full all year round, but it's still such a great city. You're not gonna be bad if you're there. Pisa, though, man, that's like a half day.
30 minutes.
Go get your picture. No, there's the baptistry's cool. The Leaning Tower is cool.
Awesome.
There's a couple good museums there. Don't eat anywhere near the Leaning Tower. Anywhere near there, like anywhere you could see that. But it's a little half day trip to go. I mean, you go and be like, that's it. But there are some stuff there. There's some other stuff there, but it's been so overrun with the Leaning Tower Pisa crowd.
What should you expect when traveling to Ecuador? Well, it depends on where you are. It's really diverse. So we were in the Highlands in March, and I was sick a lot. But so take some. Acetazolamide is the stuff you take for altitude sickness, and really use that. It actually helped me quite a lot. No bugs really. Like you don't have to worry about cooties and things like that when you're in the Highlands, but obviously the Galapagos and down on the coast you do need to worry, and obviously the Amazon.
The coast you need to worry. Like the safety stuff's more of a coast thing. The Highlands is usually okay. The thing is, the tourism in Ecuador is very diverse. And it's improving very, very quickly, so it is very nice.
And I tell you what, the best guides we've had anywhere in the world were in Ecuador. I mean, we've had excellent guides all over the place, but
that was with Southern Explorations hooked us up for that one. They did a really good job.
And these were outstanding people. So anyway, that's great.
Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank
That's
you,
very nice of
Catherine.
you. So someone keeps right about the three best top castles in Europe. It's hard to have three top. I mean, there's so many things. I would say like going to the Hampton Court outside of London was really cool because it's so big and so much to do and done so well. Versailles. I mean, you have these big ones that are like the Versailles Castle, the Buda Castle in Budapest. There's so many really cool castles around. It's really hard to like limit yourself. So I mean, those are three I really liked.
Catherine also asked where to get a visa for Cuba. I don't know. I always make Mark get the visas. I'm not really sure what that answer is, but when he gets back after rounding our children, I think there's a little whatever must-sees in Charlotte. You know what? I haven't been to Charlotte in a really long time. I can't think about that. Let's see. I remember going to the Children's Museum in Charlotte. That's all I remember. That's bad. Junior Bin X, is that your name? Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. And do we have plans on visiting Seoul? Someday we'll get there. I have a very good friend I went to college with, and he was born in Seoul. He's living in Hong Kong now, so maybe when he gets back to Seoul, I'll get back there, or I'll get there and get the really good inside scoop, because that's what we like to do.
Yeah, my dad actually used to work in Korea.
Oh, I
back
forgot
in the
your dad
day.
worked
He
there all
really
the time.
enjoyed it when he worked there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Where to get a visa? I think specifically for Cuba. Catherine asked that.
You have to go through because you don't just get like Brazil changed their visa so you can do it online. The Cuban ones you still have to like if you're from the U.S. you still have to like meet a certain criteria of what you're gonna do, and it's pretty simple to do. But the thing is, you still got to go through like an agency or something like that. I mean, like it's for journalism, it's for looking for business, it's for this or that. So it's kind of
specifically Cuba's different because you have to have excuses. For
so I have to do that one. That's actually something we have to do, but we're so far out from where we're going to go on that for next year, so we haven't really gone too much into that, and it's probably going to be changing because these kind of things are changing as more tourists go, more tourist money come in. Things do change. Like Brazil, you can do an online visa now versus having to go to the consulate now because they want more tourists to come. So that's going to be very different. But we'll make a video about that when we get closer to our Cuba time. Loving Vicenza, heck yeah!
Forza ragazzi.
Oh, so Josh wants to know some other hot spots in Italy. Hot spots that I love in Italy that not a ton of like tourists go to, but not tons of them. Ravenna.
Ravenna's
the East
cool.
Coast is amazing.
So cool. The churches, these Byzantine churches are
from the year 500, not
amazing.
500 years.
So cool.
Old church, like from the year 500. That's cool. And then Lucca in Tuscany, which has gotten more popular. That's really cool. Actually, I like the square in Syracuse in Sicily is really nice. So there is some stuff there. Is New York overpriced? Of course it is. It's New York. It's one of the most expensive cities in the world, but it's still really cool. And honestly, you can find deals for New York. It's just a combination that really gets you when you are there.
Hey, so someone's asked a couple times the best place to stay in Paris. I can only speak to Montmartre. That's where we stay every time we go. We've been staying in the same apartment. We've been renting it for years and years.
And now we got sold, so
and
we had to find
sold
again.
it, and I cried. I was like, I wish we had enough money to buy it because I truly would have. Yeah. I know we didn't have that kind of money ever, but I love Montmartre because although yes, there are tourists, you can escape the tourists and you can kind of feel like you're living in a neighborhood. And since we picked that one in the very beginning when we started doing this together, we've just sort of always stayed there, so it feels like our home. Fall colors. I really enjoyed Maine in the fall colors, partially because there's the water too, and so that was my thing.
So one person asked, "Do we have anything on for New York this summer or any tips?" We've got a Don'ts to New York, Shots to New York, 5 Love and Hates to New York. So we have those videos already out. Advice for hotels and accommodation in New York. Just put New York City, Wolters World, and a bunch of stuff will come up on YouTube to help you out.
Rat tat tat, Montmartre. I think that's what you're asking. Versailles or Fontainebleau?
Versailles. Ooh.
Both.
That's tough. If it's
Can we just make that
both, but ooh.
Make the time to do both, yeah?
Yeah, they're both worth it. It's just more opulent. There's a lot more tourists at Versailles than Fontainebleau. And and the gardens are nowhere near as fancy at Fontainebleau as they are at Versailles. But I mean, I've been to both. They're both really cool. So it's hard to say. One person wrote.
What should you do around Pittsburgh? Oh, Kennywood. It's a great, fun theme park. I absolutely love it. They have great old, like wooden coasters and things like that. There's a lot around that area, but get out if you're doing a travel or you study abroad in Pittsburgh. You're not that far from Philadelphia, which is, kind of the birthplace of the United States. So that would be a great place to go and see, how we came to be. A young American, first time traveling abroad.
Okay, so if you're looking for a Europe one, our recommended first time is you're gonna get a multi-city ticket. You're gonna fly into London and fly out of Rome. You fly into London, you spend some days there, then take the train down to Paris, spend some time there, then fly over to Prague because it's cheap airlines like EasyJet. We'll get you there, then spend a few days there, then fly down to Rome, have that, then fly home. That's 2 weeks. It's kind of quick, but you have time to enjoy a lot of stuff. That's my recommended first trip. We actually have a video on that as well. Say first time Europe itinerary, Wolters World. That'll pop up, and that's the one I recommend for a first time traveler going to Europe. If you're from the U.S. and you're looking for an easy international place, Toronto or Quebec City would be your for Americans going abroad.
Well,
if you want to see international, that's cool.
Yeah, but
or Costa Rica and Nicaragua is easy.
Nicaragua is really inexpensive. Somebody said that the Versailles garden smells like pee. I didn't notice that. Have you ever noticed?
We keep going there when it's like pouring down rain. So
it is. It's always raining when we go.
Were they standing in a corner peeing? I wonder.
Hey, Douglas Collins asked, "What is your favorite neck pillow for sleeping on a plane?" Dude, if you find one that doesn't suck, that is lightweight, doesn't take a whole lot of room,
let us know.
Let me know, because I found this one that I really wanted to work, and it's this funky like plastic thing, and it goes here, and it's got like it's almost like a wrap around your neck.
It looks like you broke your neck, kind of.
And you know what? It's one size fits all. If it had been like a couple inches
like
shorter,
it shook me to death. Like I was
width wise, because bigger neck.
Well, then it's like it's supposed to hold your head up like this,
so you can just lean your head.
But if your head weighs too much,
it kind of would have worked on me, except that it went like all the way up to my eyes instead of down here because I'm small. So yeah, that would have been cool. I wish I remember the name of it. And they were really nice because I wrote a review and said that, and they were like, "Oh, we really want this to work for you. Can we maybe send you another one?" I'm like, "Well, unless it's smaller, no." But anyway, they were really cool. New Ryanair carry-on. Does Ryanair have a new carry-on policy? I don't know. They've always been kind of jerks about their carry-on stuff. But, you get what you pay for, right? So I don't really know about that. Mark, do you know anything about Ryanair's new carry-on policy?
I honestly,
they're always a pain in the butt.
The only time I use Ryanair is when I have no other choice. Like when I was flying from Krakow to Rome, that was the only direct flight. That was last summer. And I just checked my bag. I paid the money because I'm...
Nice or Amalfi Coast? For me, it's the Amalfi Coast. I don't really like
Nice.
Nice
Amalfi
is fine
Coast.
for a minute. A day. It's just not my thing. I love the Amalfi Coast there. I feel like you can just explore a whole bunch of places, and it's really...
If you want to do Nice, I would stay up in Avignon and explore more of Provence than Nice, to be honest.
I would agree.
Have not been to Hong Kong, but we would get there. Why is Mark drinking so much water? Because it's been Memorial Day weekend and I need to replenish my fluids.
We haven't even done anything. We had a lot of graduation parties this year.
Yes,
one of which was a Brazilian party, and let me tell you that.
And my legs still hurt from dancing. You weren't there for that.
I didn't. I went home. What's the longest amount of time you've ever spent on a plane? 14 and a half hours? 15 hours?
Whatever LA to Sydney was in 1993.
Oh, that's
that was. I think that was like 16 hours, something like that. That was long.
For me, it was Minneapolis to Japan. Yeah.
That was like 12 or 14 or something. Like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Inflatable neck pillow. What is the company? Magellan's. I'm gonna look at that. I'll check that out because I would love someday to have one that doesn't suck. Half the time we end up using each other. Mark and I and the kids, because there are 4 of us. We can. You're softer.
Exactly.
Pillow-like.
That's right. I am like a pillow. I am truly just a pillow. So someone wrote about they're going to Quebec and Montreal, and they're wondering, do I need to speak French when I go there? No, you don't. There's English in all the menus, and you'll be fine. We had no problems when we were there, but it was nice. We did speak. I mean, I speak a little French, so I use a little. But you don't really have to worry about it too much, so you'll be okay.
Catherine, we understand.
Yeah.
The time and money are always limited,
and that's one of the things that some people are asking us, like, why don't you go here? Why aren't you going there? And sometimes it's just not, we just can't afford to go to a lot of these places. Like, why don't you do a cruise around the world? Or why don't you go here for this amazing?
People have been really ugly too.
Yeah, it's like, I don't have an extra $12,000 to spend, to do this.
Racist because we haven't been to Africa yet, or whatever, or what we got a lot of that with Asia, and we try. Oh my gosh, and we're getting to all those places.
We're doing North Africa the end of this year, and we're doing Rwanda, Uganda, all that stuff.
But it's really unfair that people call us names, because, well, ding dang, give me the money and I'll go do it, know? But there's so much of the world to see, and, but money is what...
And then also having the time, because we want to take the kids about most of these places, so we have to go, we have to do it...
During their school year, or not during their school year. And, so we wanted to do a big one in Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand. But the only time we really have enough time to do it justice, which is, that's a big thing, right, is during the summer. And all of our friends that are from that area were like, you can go in the summer. You have to do that in November or December, I think it was go in December. Well, we only get 2 weeks. And so 2 weeks in December isn't just, it's not enough to do it justice, especially when you're paying that kind of money to get there. So...
Anyway.
Yeah, it's a huge thing.
So one person asked about they have a small kid and they want to go to Italy, even though the summer's the only time they can go early as possible. So when they get out, we have friends of ours that are there right now. They got to school on Wednesday and they left on Saturday. So you want to go as soon as you can, because in May the Europeans get out July and August, and Americans start going June and July. And May is the college students are starting to go. So go in May. That's gonna be your best bet if you only have the kid stuff. So the earlier the better. Don't wait for an end of summer vacation. Do it at the beginning of the summer vacation for Italy. Some other people they asked about, one said, I'm a U.S. student studying abroad and looking for an internship internationally. Man, those are really tough to get. There's companies that'll help set them up, so you kind of have to pay to do an internship abroad, but it can be quite tough to do that. So I'd say if there's any companies that work with your university there that you're studying at, they might have an easier way to get an internship for you than other ones. So just a heads up for that one. And someone asked about a good Southeast Asia trip in the spring. In the spring, U.S. spring is actually a good time to go there because it's not the rain season, the heat's not there. So that's what we're told is kind of an okay time. Do we get travel medical insurance? Yes, every time we go, I click the little button on there. I have it with my work too, but I always get the extra one just in case. And if you use Medicare, my parents have told me they do not cover when you're traveling abroad, so you need to get that just in case. So when you go, okay?
Yes, we're going to be in Sao Paulo for a wedding, and so. Though we would love to meet you, and I don't know that we are going to have a whole lot of time because we get there
Friday for the pre-wedding party, and then Saturday's the wedding, and Sunday's the other wedding party, and then Monday we have rodizio with our family, and then we fly out on Tuesday. So it's going to be crazy. Iceland is definitely worth it for sure. Churrascaria, it's always good. Good Lebanese food actually in Sao Paulo too.
I love the Andalusia region of Spain. I there's nowhere in Spain that I really dislike, but I really enjoy Andalusia. That's sort of my thing. So
Bella, I'm glad you like the shirts. If you want to pick one up, you can. They're the ones on the back with this. I said before with the Hello Fellow Traveler. They stopped being sold. If you want to get it in the next couple weeks, you got to get it purchased today. So grab some if you want. There's other ones out there too if you want some little less ostentatious with Wolters. We're just a little tiny one. We have those too. And they're kid sizes. We have hooded sweatshirts, baseball tees, V-necks, all kinds of stuff to check out. Multiple colors. So it's pretty cool. New Orleans for a single girl. Which area is safe? If you're staying,
Pay attention.
Pay attention. New Orleans is actually pretty. It's not as dangerous as people make it sound. What it is dangerous is once people start drinking, at 5 or 6 in the afternoon. Like in the evening, that's when things get a little bit much. So I would pay attention. Don't stay out too late at the bars when you're listening to music. 'Cause there's lots of great music there. But just have a heads up, okay?
Oh, I like Bratislava. It's sweet. It's a really cool town.
Yeah, we have a few videos from years ago from it. I'll be filming.
What
again
do I
there
not
next year.
like about the city? What was that icky stuff that we ate?
Where?
In Bratislava. I had like one little nibble. You and your buddy ate it and he liked it. It was like fat or something. With like lard.
Oh, it was like schmaltz. Yeah, it was like lard with onion, like cooked, like fried up onions in it, and bacon fat and bacon bits in it, and then you put it on brown bread. That was so good.
I like the brown bread. It was the other stuff. That was the only thing I remember not liking the whole time we had. Those people were really cool. We happened to be there on December 6th, so Nikolaus Day, and the hotel left a little stocking full of
It was St. Nicholas that left the candy outside. He just happened to know what hotel we were in.
So they someone left candy for Caleb
St.
outside the door.
Nicholas. I'm the much better parent. Anyway, someone asked, is Australia and New Zealand worth it? Yes, they are. They're amazing. Definitely go. Yes. But I still love you. And so do the children. They just love me more. Anyway, where should I get married? Well, first you should get married with someone that you like and get along with. I want to be local and I live in Florida. I don't know. Wherever is nearby. Your local church that you go to these things.
The K-Pop in Tampa. Mm-hmm.
Is that your friends?
No.
Okay.
Somebody more than my friend.
Yes. Oh, family. Is it cheaper to convert currency in Europe or America? Honestly, just use your ATM card from your local ATM card from your local bank. Let them know you're traveling and then use an ATM when you're abroad. At a bank. Don't get like the private ones. If you get a bank one at a bank, you're just going to get the best bet. And if they offer you, we'll direct transfer it, like we'll convert it now. No, just say no, thank you. I'll just take in the local currency. My bank back home will do it. We'll do it better because some of them will lose like 20%. Like it's a ripoff. So make sure you just do it that way.
Someone asked if Italy was safe. I think Jose or something. I feel like I always feel safe in Italy, but there are areas, especially in the major cities, where you need to just pay attention, pickpockets and things like that. I think that Rome maybe and Florence are the places where maybe I'm most concerned about those pickpockets and stuff. But generally speaking, it's petty crime like that. It's nothing terrible. So, yep.
So Andres writes, hey, thank you guys for doing this. I'm traveling the whole summer in Europe. I like to use it as an asset as well. Any advice on getting photo and video gigs on the way? Honestly, if you have your own blog and your own social media, that's going to be your best way, or offer to write things for channels or things like that. And some don't even pay you, so it's tough. You might want to contact some of the local tourism boards and see if there's something you could do or they can help you out. I know some places like when people come and do Instagram shoots and stuff like that. The problem is we don't get any of those because we always talk about the honest stuff, the good and the bad, and they tend not to like that. They only want like the really good stuff. That's why. Our stuff is from T-shirt sales and the YouTube commercials that pop up because sponsors don't like people that want to tell the truth. They want them to tell exactly what they want you to tell them. So that's
we're kind of into honesty.
Yeah, we're kind of in honesty, and then companies that we love have asked us to do stuff, and I tell them, look, I already have your products. I would gladly make a video for it, but you got to know I'll talk about the good and the bad, and they're like, nope.
This is the university to visit. Somebody asked about college campuses. Someone else asked
Alabama's got a really beautiful campus too.
Yeah, SEC, Alabama really is maybe the best, most beautiful campus in the U.S. Somebody asked about travel advice for pregnant women.
Don't go on your last trimester. Right?
Yeah, you can't fly. You ask your OB about it.
Your last 2 months at least.
Last 2 or 3 months.
And if the airlines know, they will not let you on.
Oh, do you know a lot about it, Mark? Have you been?
No, they no. Twins.
I totally thought he was going to flick me in the ear. So one thing that was really important for me when we traveled when I was pregnant was drinking a lot of water. I just generally I drink a lot of water, but when I was pregnant, I was drinking piles of it. So always, keep a bottle of water handy. Always have that. Don't go late, late in your pregnancy. Foods are different for you sometimes when you're pregnant, so sometimes that's kind of just a
Like
thing.
mashed potatoes and mustard were her
I don't
favorite.
mean that. Shut up. And mustard on French fries is okay, right?
Mayonnaise
Whatever.
are okay.
So anyway, but I meant more that some foods will upset you, whereas other things won't. And so if you're traveling and eating different stuff before you go, talk to your doctor and see if there's something that you can take for upset stomach that is pregnancy safe. And you might want to get things like kind of go over the medical stuff more with your doctor for pregnancy stuff. But generally speaking, I was very happy traveling pregnant. We didn't get to do that too much with Liam because I was on bed rest the last 4 months. But
I'm up in the hospital.
Yeah, it was fun stuff.
He's okay. He turned out okay. So some people asked, Cynthia wrote and said, hey, I'm going to be in France for 2 weeks. How much cash should I carry around? I don't carry more than like 200 euros worth of cash. What I do is I use my cards most of the time. Yeah, if that, like, I would not, and definitely don't keep it all in the same place. Be careful with that. I just have some 20s and 10s and stuff like that. So if you want to get like something small, you can just pay that way. But if you're going to like a sit-down restaurant, hotels, things like that, you can just pay your card. You're going to museums, you can pay with cards, so you're okay there.
You've been bungee jumping. I've been skydiving. I did that one thing where they like pull you back. It's like a bungee, but instead of like jumping off of something, they pull you back
They slingshot
and
you?
fly. That was fun. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so there you go.
I have not been to Montana. I would love to go up there.
I went a lot when I was a kid, but I mean, I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but it's been a minute. So
I have a much younger life.
That's right.
That's right. Someone asked about Michigan. Michigan actually had some really good stuff. They actually have a really good tourism board. Their Pure Michigan campaign is fantastic. But like cities like Traverse City is really cool to go check out, and the coast there. Mackinac Island is really nice to go see and enjoy some time there. Those are my two favorite places for that.
Amanda asks, is staying in Dublin practical if we went to do day trips to Southern and Western Ireland? Sure, but you don't have to. There are so many great places to stay all over Ireland. We did a really great road trip through Ireland when I was pregnant with Liam early in that pregnancy, and it was really fun.
It was a good family trip.
So you don't have to. I mean, yeah, it's fine. You can. But driving in and around and stuff through Dublin can get probably a little bit hairy. I remember we had a wee bit of a problem getting in and out of the car park at the airport. But so
yeah, I had to go there. They were doing construction, didn't tell us, so I had to drive the wrong way down the highway to get there.
How many days do you need in Paris?
There's
lifetime?
Yeah. Walford Cass writes, I have a 10% charge for foreign cash transactions. Is it cheaper to just use my card instead of paying rates for exchanging cash? What I do is I take out that one time 200 or 300 euros. I have that cash done, and then I pay the card every other time so I don't have to get the cash transaction stuff out. And I do it that way. Or look for a card that does not have foreign transaction fees, because that could be 1.5% to 3% added on to your stuff. So I know like our Delta American Express Platinum card has no foreign transaction fees. My Chase Explorer has no foreign transaction fees. But my other Chase, that's United one, does have it. So you got to read the fine print, because if you travel a lot, I mean, extra 3% on everything.
I hate United.
Well, other places have that too. Other one. Let's see. Do we carry a passport with you? In some places we do.
We also sometimes just have a copy of the passport.
Yeah, like we have a copy in our phone. We have a paper
phone.
copy as well, and then we lock it up in the safe.
The actual passport.
Yeah, but it depends where you're at, because some places you have to have it with you. So it depends where you're at.
Yeah, like how many times have we been on trains and people have asked to see? You know.
Will I be able to communicate in Australia with using English? Yes, you'll be fine. Australian English is easy enough. They just know this Savo means this afternoon. That was my big problem. What else you doing?
Where would you suggest you buy food on a budget in Helsinki and Turku?
Go to the
dun dun dun.
The
Hesburger.
Hesburger. Yes, you get their fast food stuff's fantastic, but just go to the store. There's plenty of little markets you can go to and grocery stores. They're all over, so you'll be fine.
They have really good fresh foods and stuff too, so that's worth it.
Okay.
Aside from the theme parks in Orlando, there's a ton of stuff to do in Orlando. We actually Caleb and I just met our best friends from Lisbon there in April, and we did one of those escape room things. We went to, what was the name of that place? I know you weren't there with us, but Gatorland. We went to Gatorland and did like a night tour of the Gators, and there was just some cool stuff. Anyway, we had a great time. There's a lot of things to do in Orlando. I would suggest, looking up a couple of those things, and then go to the what do you call that thing that you look up what to do? The tourism board. Oh my gosh.
I'm answering other questions so
Special.
I can talk in a bit. Like,
So
that's you. You do you, girl. You do you.
Anyway, so there's a lot to do. And have we done Disneyland Paris? No, our kids don't like
I've
Disney.
been there. I was there.
Oh,
was
yeah,
years
with
ago.
an old girlfriend.
Yes. Think of it more like Disneyland in California. Don't think of it like Disney World for size-wise and stuff like that. I mean, you can go.
Olivia
Go
is
to Gardaland
11.
in Italy instead. That's more fun. What's up?
Olivia's 11, going to France. Do we have pets? We are trying to find a sitter and wonder what other people do. So yes, we have a dog, and he goes to
Doggy daycare.
Doggy
George's
daycare.
Canine Comforts. He loves his doggy daycare.
He does love his people.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? He goes there sometimes just during the week. Like if it's raining for days on end, then we take him there to play. But really, truly, that's an important thing to me that he goes somewhere that he loves. So check it out.
And like her mom is watched
My
him
mom
as
takes
well
him.
and stuff.
And when we've had people stay at our house, which we sometimes do,
Yeah, we
people,
still have house sitters.
we
too,
leave
that's
him
right.
here with the house
Forgot
sitter.
about
So
the last couple of big trips, he blew out his knees, and so last year and the year before, the summers, he blew out his knees. And he was 8 weeks confined to a crate for the healing process because he couldn't walk or anything. So he stayed with his vet. So that was another one. So hopefully that does not happen to your dog. Someone wrote some other questions. Amalfi Coast trip tips. Sorrento's a nice base to stay at. There's lots of accommodations and food options, and you can take the Circumvesuvia train to Herculaneum and go see that, or Pompeii to see that. That's where the ferries go out to the Isle of Capri, so you can do that. You can take the buses into the Amalfi Coast, the real Amalfi Coast, but the wine and stuff, we call it the vomit bus. It can be a bit much sometimes, so be careful with that.
Northern Sweden, is it handicap accessible? Well, all of
the cities kind of stuff are, but not the outdoor stuff. So
there you go.
Very much, but it's been a while since I've been there, so it's hard to say. People ask, what are some towns that are close to London, like day trips kind of stuff. Cambridge is a great day trip from London. You can easily do. Hampton Court, great day trip to do from London, easy to do. You can get to Oxford as well. You can go down to Brighton. I spend more time in Brighton than just a day trip. Bath as well. You could do it, but it's like so fast. I would spend more time. So, anyway, what else do I have to tell you?
What is our highest travel elevation? I think that would have been Cusco, right? No.
Yeah.
Was it?
Probably.
Like 12. And
of course, how I said it in the video,
Ecuador.
5,000 meter or whatever. I'm like, 5,000 mile. I said it wrong in the video.
You
So
did.
it's like,
It was like
you're on the
12,000
moon?
feet.
Yeah, so. Thank you, Bree. I'm glad you like the videos.
Okay, there was one up there that I wanted to ask. Oh, something about a language thing, but I don't remember what it was.
I like Canterbury, or Counter Tony. Be aware Cambridge, as a resident, you'll have the other 80 billion tourists for company. Yeah, that's true. Because it is an easy day trip. Would I visit Croatia again? Heck yeah, that place was awesome.
That was lovely.
I still have more videos to put out from our last trip there.
Mark's been to Bolivia. You have a really cool picture of you there.
Yeah. The salt flats of Uni is really cool. Yeah. There's some really neat things outside of La Paz you can go see. So that was cool. So we're going to have to wrap this up here in a little bit. So we'll do a few more questions. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you grab a shirt because we only got a couple more days to grab those. 50 degrees in Dubai. Oh, that's hot.
What? Dang. Yes, we camp. I really love to camp. I used to camp all the time as a kid. So, any hootie. Okay, wait. I'm flying with my 8-month-old daughter from Toronto to Vancouver. Do you think taking the red eye is better than daytime? If she's a good sleeper, then yes. I really do.
Scheduling your flights around their nap time so they can sleep is really good.
It's a good thing to do.
And at 8 months, they're still immobile, but not immobile
Yeah, no,
enough to
once
enjoy
they start
stuff.
walking, it's like from 12 months, like when they start walking into like 18
18.
to 20 months, that's the hardest time to travel with a kid. Otherwise, you're probably good. Okay, so
The last one, I want to answer this one. Blue Devils, my wife and I are looking to travel Europe or Japan soon. We're both on the larger side, being a larger guy. What struggles did you notice traveling Japan as opposed to traveling Europe? In Japan,
people rubbed your belly. Oh no,
no,
that
was China.
was in China.
They rubbed my belly.
Yeah.
In Japan, I would say the beds were a little uncomfortable, and the guest house and stuff. Like I was kind of worried at some of the places. But overall,
They were tiny.
They were tiny. But I will say, like, don't expect to get any T-shirts or any clothing or anything like that. There will be nothing for you that way. So, but otherwise, I was surprised because I actually had that same concern with my size in Japan, but I didn't really have any issues. So there is that. Anyway, it's Memorial Day. We got to go. We appreciate everybody's support and everything. Thank you so much for all those that put in the super chats to help support us. All who that picked up the T-shirts. Remember, if you get a T-shirt, send us a picture of you wearing that, because we put out a video when we get enough. We put a thank you video out so it shows you wherever you are in the world, or even as you doing your
really
lawn
cool
work.
ones on the last one.
So do that. So we thank you all. Thank you so much to everybody, and have a great summer of travel. We'll probably do one more of these here in June sometime. Maybe on one of our trips we might be able to do one.
What? Another live thing?
Yeah. So we did one last summer we were traveling. So we'll get some more. But thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic summer of travel. Keep watching the videos. We really appreciate it. If you have questions, you can write us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all kinds of stuff like that. We love you all. So thank you very much. And bye from
Happy
our
travels, y'all.
library.